go time.
Let's go.
So, what about an internet?
Today, Junior.
I think the my rum loco is kicking in.
Oh.
Since I decided it was going to be a good idea to get right. It's literally happening.
Guess this is going to be a short episode.
Oh, it's going to be a different one.
Wow. The words don't even come out of your mouth.
Yeah. Smells like dust in here.
Yeah.
Do you smell that?
Yep.
That's pretty different.
It's a little odd. I don't like it.
I should probably clean the AC.
Probably.
But
might help.
Well, we got you on a Thursday again, dude.
It's awkward, and I don't like it. I got too much going on.
We both do.
Yep, this is different.
Dude, life has been like, it's catching up, you know? We're in the midst of things getting crappier as they sit. You know? Every day that goes by, things are just getting a little harder.
Welcome to the holiday season.
You know what's funny is that was all on camera, too. You were like, oh. Oh.
The joys of holiday season.
I don't think it's holiday season, man, because...
No, it's like every year around the Oh, well, bye-bye.
What'd you do?
Lights fell.
Did they?
Yep.
Oh, that's fine.
Every year around the holidays is like when everything seems to start getting difficult, is what I've noticed. Like, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever really seen, like, the true fallout, but, I mean, this year seems to suck.
Huh.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Well, finding out that rent's going up doesn't fucking help.
Why not? It makes life more enjoyable.
Sure. Makes this house really worth having.
I mean, every time I come over here, you got me doing something else to it, so...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Trying to make it better. It's like putting Band-Aids on a fucking, just open wound that requires stitches.
I mean... Yeah, we won't get into it on air.
That's fair. It's a giant pig with lipstick.
I don't need to throw all your stuff out there.
That'd be appreciated. That already looks like shit. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to bring up, too.
See, I told you didn't even have a topic yet.
Oh, I do. No, I do, actually. And it's something I wanted to ask you about.
24.14 and a quarter.
Oh, well, it's the episode right there.
There you go.
I don't know what else we're supposed to talk about. No. I kind of had, like, like, the older I get, the more and more that I realize, like, I was raised in a lot of different cultures. And
okay.
Like, I'm white, but
Really?
I was raised, like, all my siblings are mostly Mexican, and they all have family from, like, Mexico. So, like, the heritage and the traditions and all that shit, and even the cooking and all that shit is really, really, really familiar to me.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of funny because that shit comes out in, like, conversation with, like, I guess you could say, like, normal white people that aren't, like, half Mexican by tradition.
Yeah, I mean, I could say the same thing except for, I mean, besides the little bit of Mexican that we have in us, I mean, we're pretty much all white.
Yeah.
But 90% of our cooking is all Mexican food. And especially, like, at work and stuff, working around predominantly Mexican people, when you talk about, like every year when we make tamales.
Oh, yeah. That's true, huh?
People are always like, oh, white people tamales, those things are probably gross. And then I bring them in, they're like, these are some of the best tamales I've ever had.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, the thing, part of that is, too, is you're from here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forget, like, pretty often that, like, anybody that's been raised in Arizona, like, it's almost like most of your culture.
Well, so we do have some Mexican heritage that we found out. But that's just... We were always told that we had Spaniard in us. And then I think it was my grandma's sister or somebody started actually doing, like, the family tree and leading it all back. No. It's straight from our lineage actually goes down to where it was supposed to be supposedly Spaniard, It's not Spaniard. It's a small town in Mexico.
Hmm.
So we're like, oh, so we've been lied to our entire lives.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like false pretenses. It's my favorite. No, but so like it's part of the culture here.
Yeah, I mean,
Mexican food is the Arizona state, so that's fucking cool.
yeah, it's just not as known for it as far as like from outsiders as like Texas and California. But I've been to Texas.
Arizona's not. Yeah, it is. It's our state food.
But like, if you talk to people there and you say like Mexican food in Arizona, they're like, "Is that good?" And I'm like, "We're right by the fucking border," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess, kinda."
Are you talking about like people don't really
Yeah.
realize it until it's too late?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, but like, you have Mexican food in Texas. It's all Tex-Mex, and it's not like actual Mexican food, and it's fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It is gross. There's no flavor to it. Their idea of a hot salsa is fucking paste out of a jar. And like, out of the states that are actually known to like the majority of people for Mexican food that I would say still has good Mexican food, if not even a little bit better than ours, would actually be California.
Probably like closer to like the Baja area kind of thing.
California is such good fucking Mexican food.
Mexicali.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the only place that's gonna stand up to ours. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. I think about it pretty often as I get older. Like I said, I found out. I didn't find out, but I've kind of realized doing the job that I do and all the people I come in contact with, it's kind of funny because I'm more comfortable with. I got to figure out how to say this politely, and I'm less comfortable dealing with like white city folk.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Than I am dealing with fucking southern black people, dude. All fucking day. All fucking day. Me and them get along like it's my job. You know, I grew up with a lot of black people. One of our closest friends to our family was a whole nother black family.
Yeah.
So that was another part of everything that I got fucking mixed into, you know?
Oh, that was one of the things that I found the funniest was when I was in the military, and it was right after I got my Navy tattoo, and you know, shortly thereafter is when all of the riots and stuff started happening in South Carolina about the Confederate flag and all that back in like 2015, 2014, whenever it was. Well, that's where I was South Carolina with a Confederate flag tattooed on my arm. And so I was sitting there at Waffle House by the base.
Waffle House.
And I was sitting there eating, and then started the cab driver that, like, he was the most known cab driver on base.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Getting food." I was like, "All right, I guess that makes sense."
Fair enough.
And so me and him are just sitting there talking, and like he's sitting on that side, and it was very shortly after I had gotten the tattoo, so I was still, you know, keeping it exposed, trying not to let a shirt sit on it more than I had to, stuff like that, so it'd heal right. And I was like, "It doesn't bother you?" And he's like, "Why would it?" I was like, "Well, I mean, it bothers, not to sound ignorant or rude, but it bothers most people."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "It bothers the people that don't know their true history." And I was like, "Okay, cool.
Gucci, I'm out."
I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Good call, bud.
But just hearing that from another black man,
Yeah.
it was one of those things where it was like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah.
to people that actually know what the fuck they're talking about, it'll be respected.
Yeah.
So
That's 100% true. And one of the things that we get to experience a lot of out here, at least in my case, that I'm super thankful for is we don't really have like the whole, like, I'm sure there are pockets or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's instances, but we don't really have like a huge like racist thing here in Arizona. You know, there's everybody's pretty well fucking bonded together. We all have guns and we all fucking know it.
Yeah, I don't think it's really that we don't have a racist thing here. It's
I
people
feel,
are scared to get shot.
well, no. I feel like we don't because of the people that I get to talk to on a daily basis. And when everything was kind of high and mighty and everybody was like rioting and shit and everything was happening, like I had the most like the people that you would not expect ever to have the conversation with me in a tow truck, you know. And it was just it was a really enlightening experience to know that a majority of the fucking people you come across don't give a flying fuck about that shit. Most of them just want to be peace and humane, you know, and it's super enlightening.
Well, yeah, and that's a lot of why I don't follow media and stuff like that is because it is just going to portray what they want you to think. So they're going to focus on that and make that seem like it's the biggest thing that happens.
That's definitely a big part of it.
So, I mean, it could be something that truly isn't even actually that big of a deal, and it's happening in such small quantities and percentages, but they're going to make it seem like it's happening all day, every day.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely been a pretty manipulative play by the general media, papers, channels, everything like that, even social media. You know, they post the most outstanding shit that they possibly can and make it sound like it's happening all day, every day, when in reality it's like one in like 300 stops.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get us wrong. We're admitting that it does happen, but it doesn't happen as bad as, or I don't like saying as bad because that makes it sound like I'm trying to downplay what is happening, but it's not as often and as prominent as prominent as media makes it seem.
Yeah.
And so if people would just back the fuck away from media and actually live their lives and realize what the fuck we have in this country, I think they would realize that they've got a lot going for them, and there's a lot more going for them here than what there's a lot more going for them here than what's not going for them, if that makes sense. Like,
no, I think when you put yourself with your fellow citizens instead of just listening to everything that you're fed, you know, things can really be clarified for you. Media is just gonna lie to you.
Well, they also want to keep us somewhat apart because look what happened when we all started banding together and they went stupid on us. They almost lost.
Almost.
And I mean, realistically, this country was founded on that exact thing. People got tired of the way their government was, so they said, fuck you, and they left their country.
Fuck you, we're out.
Jumped on a couple of fucking boats and came over here, and they're like, all right, this place looks kind of cool.
Oh, God, I would have preferred that version in history. Fuck you, we're out.
Well, you know why we drive on the right side of the road, right?
No.
Because in Britain, they drive on the left side of the road.
So it was just being an asshole?
They literally wanted to separate themselves that much.
Oh, my God.
They were like, no, we drive on the right side.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That is the reason we drive on the right side of the road. They were like, no, we're not going to associate with them at fucking all.
That's fucking great. Wow. I just wanted to, I wanted to admire the different cultures that we get to experience. Maybe it's just here. Maybe we're lucky, but the different cultures, the different foods, the different environments, you know. We're lucky enough here to be able to go through all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And really get to see some different shit.
Great, now I'm fucking hungry.
I know, I am too.
I hate you.
I was like, where can we go? Tacos. That's fucked up because most of the places that are listening to this don't have that chance.
No, they can go get tacos, just not good tacos.
Oh, they can go like Taco Bell.
No, even like Ohio and shit, when I was there, they have taco places. They're just not good.
They're not good.
Like, my buddy would get so mad at me because he'd be like, I'm going to take you to a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, all right. And then I would just shit on it the whole time. And he's like, you don't make this fun. He's like, taking you to Mexican restaurants is not fun. I was like, because they're not Mexican restaurants.
You're like, I live 3 hours from the border. That's why.
And then he took me to this one taco place. And I looked at him and was like, these are kind of good. And he's like, really? And I was like, they're not tacos, but they're kind of good. And he's like, what do you mean they're not tacos? I was like, they don't put any of this shit in a fucking taco.
Oh, God.
I was like, but I mean, they taste pretty good, so I'm not going to bash on them.
This is good tofu.
No, some of it had like brisket and shit, but
Oh, okay.
it was fucking good. Like, I really enjoy it. Like, when I go back up there to visit, we usually go there at least once.
Ohio?
Yeah.
I want to go.
It's not that great.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, Ohioans, but I mean, 90% of you drive around with a sticker on the back of your vehicle that says stuck in Ohio. So I don't want to hear any backlash. Y'all don't even fucking like it there.
MGK's from Ohio. Cleveland?
This is my Cleveland show.
Oh, God. Well, that leads me into another topic that should be brought up.
Oh, God. What'd I do? Bueller.
I'm sorry. I'm watching this. It's acting different. I don't want to have to do this while we're fucking recording the whole time. Every time. We need somebody over there.
Jenny.
No. One of the other things that was also right above in my notes was weirdly enough was how much effort it takes to resume being so negative.
Resume being negative.
Like how much effort it takes to maintain being so negative towards somebody or towards a relationship or towards a situation, you know.
I mean, it depends on what happened.
Well,
to cause the negativity, because for one of them, for me, it's very easy for me to remain negative.
I feel like 9 times out of 10 it takes more effort to maintain negative feelings than it does to just let them go.
I haven't said a single word to them in almost a year, and it feels great.
Okay.
And they live with me.
Oh, God. Wow. All right.
But I get what you're saying, because there are instances where some of the times when you're holding that negativity, it's because you're letting your pride get in your way.
I don't know. I kind of want to know what's going on at home now.
You know the story. We'll talk about it later.
10-4.
But
yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's like
yeah,
pride or ego or something.
Yeah, it's mainly a pride thing. You know, most of it comes from what me and you end up talking about a lot on here.
Mm-hmm.
Is you get into an argument and then you realize during the argument or shortly thereafter the argument that, oh, fuck, I'm wrong. Well, my ego's hurt now, so I'm going to keep arguing that I'm right.
My pride sucks, so fuck you.
And so you're going to keep arguing that. And, I mean, you see it talked about all the time on social media of, you know, you're arguing something and then you realize halfway through the argument that you're wrong, but you're still going to try and make your point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why? And so then it comes down to, okay, the argument's done and over with, but now you're going to hold that because you're going to try and hold that negativity because you want that person to admit that you were right.
Right.
And you're not going to be the one to admit you were wrong. So now every time you see that person, you're going to try and hold that negativity or try and push for them to admit that you were right, even though you fucking know you were wrong.
It's like when you start a lie and you realize that you're fucking caught.
Yeah.
But you have to send it.
It's fucking full send.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just kind of thinking about that while you were talking about how hard it is for people to have to, you know, maintain the negative feelings with all the riots and the negative shit that was going on. I feel like it takes a lot more effort to do all that shit and to maintain that fucking level of pride.
Oh, 100%. Because if half those people just sat down and had a conversation with the other side, they'd realize something.
Right.
And they'd realize that 9 times out of 10, we all have the same fucking goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So let's fucking sit down and figure this the fuck out. Let's be adults. Let's put our fucking pride aside.
Yep.
Let's figure this shit out.
But
kind of like that TikTok that I sent you with one of our wonderful speakers.
TikTok, TikTok. One of our wonderful speakers?
Not like on the show, but like, or political. About guns.
I don't know. You send me a lot.
Well, you're supposed to watch them.
I do.
No, you don't.
This is one of those situations. Yeah, I do. I watch them all. All the time.
No, it's one of those where it was a musician, country musician, country artist, whatever you want to call it. He was at some other famous person's like birthday party, literally doing a gig for their birthday for them. And he very quickly realized that most everybody else there was on the other side of the political spectrum. And one of the well, he's talked about it on podcasts, so I guess it's fine to talk about, but Nancy Pelosi walked up to him and she's like, "You seem like a reasonable type of guy." And he's like,
Sure.
"Depends what you mean reasonable." And she's like, "So I'm not into hunting. However, I feel like if I were to shoot at an animal and I miss, it's going to run away, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Okay, so why would you need more than 7 rounds to hunt with?" And he's like, "No, I can see where you're coming from on that. But now I'm here. My family is back home in," I think he said, Tennessee. And he's like, "My wife and my 2 little boys. Now, if my wife was upstairs in our house and calls me and says, 'Hey, I hear rustling at the door. I think somebody's trying to break in. Do you want me to tell her to grab the one with 7 rounds or with 30 rounds?'" And she's like, "Oh, is that how you guys see that? As more of a self-defense thing, not a hunting thing?" And he's like, "Yes, and you guys already know that also. Look at all the bodyguards you have around you right now." And he's like, she didn't really say anything back to that, just kind of walked away. So it's one of those where, again, if we all just sat around and had a little conversation and put our egos aside, we can realize that we all kind of have that same idea in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's a great example. I just wish it would happen more often.
Well, that's like, I had somebody ask me the other day because I said I wanted to buy an A10 Warthog.
Fuck yeah, me too.
And they were like, "Why would you need something like that?" And I was like, "Because my Second Amendment says I can."
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
And they're like, "What do you mean? Your Second Amendment doesn't say that?" And I was like, "The right to bear arms to protect against a tyrant government."
It's headed there.
Literally says nothing about the right to bear arms to go hunt. It says the right to bear arms to maintain a militia to be able to overthrow a tyrant government.
What not that we should be talking about it on here, but what's the fine print that states the rifle and like the cannon or some shit? I don't know. There's something about specifically what we're allowed to be having, and it's like a cannon and a fucking muzzle loader.
No, that's what a lot of people are trying to.
Listen, I got no problem knocking out my front wall and rolling out a cannon.
No, so a lot of people are trying to use the weapon technology from back in the day when all of that was wrote.
Yeah.
As a leverage point to be able to be like, well, they didn't expect weapons to get as strong as they did. They fucking expected weapons to get better.
I'm down.
They 100% expected for weapons to get better.
I still want a cannon.
But those same people that will sit there and argue that fact will then be like, "Oh, well, social media is covered by my freedom of speech." Oh, no. If we're going to go technology, they didn't know shit about fucking computers and these supercomputers in our pockets back then.
That shit was not around.
So your freedom of speech only fucking covers your little newsletters. You got to throw that shit in the fucking newspaper.
That you got in the mail.
Yeah.
7 days later.
So, I mean, if you really want to start fucking throwing rabbit holes, we'll start throwing some fucking rabbit holes. But if you look at the verbiage of the amendment, it says to keep a well-regulated militia to protect against a tyrant government.
Got my first cannonball.
So, to be able to keep a well-regulated militia to protect against a tyrant government means you have to be able to have the same shit that government has to be able to successfully fight against them.
Right. That is definitely part of it.
I can't go against our fucking government with fucking nuclear warheads and shit like that with a fucking musket.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like,
I'm not taking a fucking bayonet to a fucking nuclear war fight.
I get the expectation, but all in all, I truly believe that we're still royally fucked.
I mean, I don't really know anybody that's got a couple $1 million laying around to buy one nuclear warhead, let alone like 70.
Well, I mean, if we're really going to get down to the fucking nitty gritty, you know, what's really going to end up happening at that point is, you know, the fucking knocking down doors, door-to-door bullshit, our military against us, and they fucking, you know goddamn well they have more body armor than we have guns. Let alone all the fucking auto weapons they have.
I wouldn't go the body armor over guns thing.
What do you mean? I'm just saying they have more body armor than we have guns.
I don't know about that.
Oh. I think that's going to be their first line of defense, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I don't get through that pretty quick.
I don't know. I just don't see why there's an argument. Like they can disarm us. They're going to lose some troops, sure, but we're still going to lose our ass.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Oh. You have more confidence than I do.
I know of militias that are actually still active. People have tried recruiting me into them.
We're going to draw the line right there.
I will not do it. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Pike's voice is getting too loud. Shit. Gonna get called in tomorrow. We need to have a talk, Justin.
Hey, it's technically not against any laws.
Not against any laws, but you're sure as fuck gonna get hounded about it.
Hey, don't do fucking shady shit and you ain't got to worry about it.
Sure. Hold on, I'm getting my cannonball ready.
You say I squirrel a lot. Are you sure you're not ADHD?
Dude, no, I'm not. Why is there a sticky? There it is.
Let's go get tested together.
You can test for this shit?
For ADHD? How do you think you get diagnosed?
I don't know, dude. So
Think you just-
noisy. Can you hear all that?
Yes, you can. Do you think you just like walk into the doctor's office and they're like, "Oh, this guy's got ADHD. Let's
That's
give him
what
some
they
medication."
did before. They were like, he's retarded. So we're going to try Ritalin.
Try Ritalin.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Oh god! Don't lie to me.
Now it's like a fucking flower, and I didn't want that. Great.
Great. You're gonna spill it everywhere.
If I keep going, yes. Anyway.
Anywho.
Do you really honestly think that if it came down to it, fight for fight, bullet for bullet, we'd have a fucking standing chance against our own military?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was getting at. Like, we're
I'm
fucked.
just saying the body armor to guns ratio is they definitely don't.
Okay, you were just that one point.
Yeah, no. They've got fucking tanks and shit.
I know. That's why I was like,
and they got an A10 Warthog. If they want to level this house right now, it'll take 2 seconds.
It's like they act like they're taking away the power from us, like we can beat them, but we don't have a fucking chance.
I mean, granted.
But now I have a cannonball.
If the Second Amendment was truly followed the way that is meant to be followed,
right.
I do think we would have a fighting chance. But
If
they have already infringed on that right.
100%.
So with the laws that are in place now, we don't have a chance.
No, not even close. Sorry. Squirrel.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So.
I don't know how the fuck we got onto that from negativity.
Damn squirrels.
Well, while we're on squirrel talk, I went fishing with my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Bass fishing.
Oh, even more. I hate you.
I didn't do anything, so don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
He caught 9.
That's it?
I did the same thing he did and didn't get 1.
Where'd you go?
Alamo.
That's your issue.
He fucking did great.
No, 9 aren't great.
Okay. We're not going to talk shit. He's been going there since he was a kid. It's beautiful. There's no lake traffic.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because it's cold outside right now.
Moving forward.
You could go to Pleasant right now, and you're not gonna have much lake traffic.
Fuck that. I'm not taking a little 12-footer to Pleasant.
Why not?
No.
You guys run a 12-footer?
I don't know.
Let's rent a bass boat.
It was a little. Let's rent a. Can we move forward? I would like to know how to bass fish.
Yeah, if we rent a bass boat, I could teach you a lot. You realize I used to fish competitively, right?
Yes, I know. That's what you say. I don't believe you though.
I could show you a video of me walking across the stage holding fishes.
Here's that eagle we were talking about. I wrecked 2 out of my 3 rods that I brought.
Oh, that happened.
Yeah, it happened. I'm aware. That's why they're all in here now in the nice, cool air.
Why?
To keep them away from the fucking dryer.
Yeah.
They were next to the dryer for 2 years.
Mine hang on my wall in my room.
Yeah, I got hangers coming.
But before that, they stayed in my bass boat. Literally all summer long. Everything. They just stayed in there. Now you're singing.
Nope. I'm not going to say what I was thinking.
It was 1989. Your thoughts were short and your hair was long.
Nope. Have you seen my hairline?
Caught somewhere between a boy and man.
89? In 89? In 89, I had a hairline. I'll give you that.
I don't think you were caught somewhere between a boy and man, though.
Oh, yeah, I was. Yeah. I was caught somewhere between mullet and man. I was one.
I was one.
But seriously, I was disappointed. I can catch catfish all day.
Well, no, you're bass fishing.
I know.
Were you guys on a bass boat?
No, dude. We were in a little 12-footer. Little
Oh.
flat bottom.
Wow.
Trolling motor.
Well, it's not bad then.
It was not fun.
Well, it's because you weren't on a bass boat
It
going
was
70
actually
mile an hour.
It was actually really fun.
I could actually make you shit your pants on a bass boat. It'd be
I'd
fun.
prefer you didn't.
Well, I mean, never mind. You're kind of crazy on the water. We'll be fine.
I was shitting myself trying to stand up in that thing.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that on a bass boat. You could jump on them things. I would run and jump on them. They're fun.
I followed his lure recommendation. I followed his cast recommendation. Everything was as he was planning, and he was doing the same exact thing, but
So-
catching fish.
Let me put it this way: he was fishing front of boat, right?
Yes.
You were fishing back of boat.
Technically, no. He was by the motors. So,
So you would throw into the spots first.
yes. It literally did not make sense. The
Well,
only thing that
What were you throwing?
the same lures that he was.
Okay, but what was he throwing?
I don't know. Little
Crankbaits?
what do they call them, Chad?
Crankbaits?
Yes, sure. I don't know.
Was it like a hard body bait with 2 treble hooks
The
on it?
little, yes.
And then had a clear plastic bill on the front?
Yep.
So those crankbaits. So there's those are actually kind of difficult to fish.
Well, he was doing it.
Yeah, but so there's technique to them.
So the only difference that we found between him and I's technique
Mhm.
is that he was standing the whole time and I was not.
That doesn't matter. Well, I mean, it kind of
I
does.
was like, I fucking believe it does.
It matters a little because it does change the depth that it'll dive to.
But I also think that he has been doing it since he was a kid, so he knows how to imitate better than I do.
Well, it's not even imitating. And a lot of this was found out more recently due to the live sonar and stuff we have now.
Would you say to me doo-doo?
Yeah. Due to
Doo-doo.
the live sonar and stuff we have now.
Due to the... Sorry, go ahead.
But with the live sonar, you can actually literally watch the fish and see the fish on the fish finder and in live time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what we're seeing here. And so when you bring your lure across its face, you can see if it goes like this, or if it just sits there and watches it go by, or if it starts to chase it. And you can throw that same lure a little bit faster, and it'll react differently. You can throw it a little bit slower, and it'll react differently. Sometimes they want it really fast, sometimes they want it really slow. You have to try and figure that out. And so you may have been retrieving too fast or too slow.
I was going to say...
And he just had that perfect cadence.
The opposite. Because that motherfucker was fucking pulling in hard.
But you also have to think of gear ratio of the reel.
Well, he was on a bait caster and I was not.
But that doesn't matter. Gear ratio of the reel.
I'm sure it matters.
If they're the same gear ratio, it doesn't matter if it's a bait caster or a spinning reel.
Well, I know, but he was fucking
Yeah.
having a seizure trying to bring it in.
Because
I was
most
not.
people that run a crankbait run a low gear ratio because a crankbait creates a lot of drag. So think of running big ass mud tires through the mud. You're going to want a low gear ratio in your transmission to pull through that mud because of all the torque that's going to be put on the load. Or, well, you need the more torque to be able to pull through the mud. It's the same thing running a big crankbait through the water. You want a low gear ratio to be able to put more torque into it. But because of that low gear ratio, you're going to have to spin up fast to be able to get speed.
I think he was definitely pulling in faster than I was on his cast.
Yeah, my gear ratio on my crankbaits is a 5.6 to 1. So that means 5.6 to 1. Where, to put it into perspective, like my top water stuff, where you're just burning it across the top of the water, I'm running an 8.1 to 1.
You're losing me, Captain.
Gears. Think of a transmission.
Yes, I understand.
410s versus like fucking 355s.
Oof. But I don't know. There was some difference in his technique that made the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to see, but it was shitty that I blew out my shoulder for 7 hours.
So traditionally, when you're fishing a team style like that,
Mm-hmm.
where it's 2 people, the person in the front is going to be throwing more of a reaction type of bait, crankbaits, top water, stuff like that. Your fast moving baits. Person in the back is going to be picking up the trash. So they're going to throw like your soft plastics, your drop shots, your Ned rigs, your Texas rigs, Carolina rigs, stuff like that, where you throw it out and you spend a little bit more time in the area.
Whatever you just said made my eye twitch. Don't do that.
Oh, I can give you all kinds of fucking strategy and shit to bass fishing.
We'll talk off air. I'm already.
Let's rent a bass boat. We'll go ahead and do this.
I just want to go to the canal and let my rod sit there with a bell on it.
You can catch bass out of the canal. I've done it.
I don't want to.
There's bass in those canals.
There is. You're right, but I don't want to.
And I caught the largest catfish I've ever caught out of that canal while bass fishing.
There's some big ass fucking cats in there.
I know, and they like to eat crankbaits.
Yeah, there's some big cats in there, dude. God damn.
You take one of them, like $1. You go to the Cabela's and go to the $1 bin that they got, and you get that chartreuse square bill.
Mm-hmm.
Throw that in there, you catch catfish.
Hmm.
They fucking love that thing. I don't know why. They fucking hit it hard.
Well, you just let it sit on the bottom?
No, I just fucking throw it out, fucking reel it in.
Or you
throw it
drag
out,
the bottom?
reel it in. Crankbait, you should be dragging bottom.
Yeah, especially in the canal.
Yeah. Well, so that bill is meant to bounce off of stuff.
You better be careful, dude. You're going to catch a fucking shopping cart.
I have.
It's a fucking real thing.
I have. It's fine. That's why I buy the $1 one.
No biggie. Real thick line.
No, $1 one. Real thin line. So if you do catch a shopping cart, you break it off. You don't want to break the rod. Rods are expensive.
I don't care about the rod. I want to see the shopping cart.
I need to get that out of there.
God damn. Well, I'm trying to help the community, okay?
Yeah, but that's where the catfish are hiding.
We should
You don't
go-
want to get that out of there. That's how you catch catfish.
We should go to the canal. You're right, because they hide in there.
Uh-huh.
Fucking mama. God damn it. Speaking of which, fried fish eggs.
You're fucking weird.
Apparently, it's a real good thing. I ain't done it.
I mean, that's caviar. That's fried.
Fried caviar?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's all caviar is fish eggs.
I know. I feel like I did some damage to the fucking canals because one year I pulled a shit ton of mamas out of there. And then the next year the fishing sucked. And I was like, I did this to myself. I fucking did this. This is of my own doing.
I never know if I pull mamas out or not because I fillet them.
I fillet them? Well, I pull the guts, pull the head.
I don't gut them. There's no point. You're filleting them.
But they're fat. You can see it. All the eggs in there. And of course you got to poke it to see
Except
what comes out.
I have started taking the stomach meat because it's so good.
On blue bass, it's supposed to blue cat. It's supposed to be good.
It's fucking fantastic on channels too.
We don't have them out here.
We have channels.
We have channels and flat.
Yeah.
We don't have blue.
Nope.
Oh, you know what? I take it back.
No, we don't have blues.
No, we don't have blues. But
They're fucking huge.
on the flatheads, the belly's supposed to be fucking amazing.
Same with the blues. In the flatheads, the bigger they get, the better they taste. The channels, if they're over 2 pounds, they taste like dirt.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're smart and they eat off the ground.
No, they're fucking retarded and they eat off the ground.
Whatever. They're just following carp around. They're like,
Carp are retarded.
carp are retarded.
Carp are like, ooh, look, bread. I've never seen that in the water before, but
Ooh,
let's
piece
eat
of
it.
candy. That was not candy. didn't know corn could get that hard. Shit. There's a hook.
This kind of hurts.
Wow, that piece of corn sucked.
Ooh, look, another piece of corn. Hold on, wait, corn. Why are you pulling me this way? There's more corn over here.
There's so much corn that way.
Why are we going this way, Fred? And then like 3 more of them
Hey, come back with me. Go this way.
4 more of them follow them up to the surface. They're like, where are you going?
Is there more? Oh, shit. For people who don't fish, carp obviously love anything and everything. Corn.
They are the cleaners.
They are the bottom feeders and the cleaners of the fish world. And the taste shows.
I mean, some people really like the taste of it, so you can't really say that.
There's certain cultures that know how to make some bomb-ass shit out of carp.
Yeah.
And we are not one of them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I could make some good carp, but I'm not fighting around all that bone. I ain't doing it.
Dude, having the fucking, the nose goes. They have like, the... It's almost like micro. I can't do this, dude. Tiny bones. They have tiny bones everywhere.
And their bones are... If you ever want to know what carp bones look like, walk outside, find the nearest tree, stand underneath it, and look up. All the branches, literally, that's how carp bones are.
I was like, what the fuck?
Because, like, one bone will come off this way, and then you'll have, like, 3 more splinter off this way. And then off of those, there'll be, like, 3 more splinter off.
Folks, he obviously hasn't been drinking as much as I have. Because that was a good analogy, and I did not catch it. I was like, what? We should go to the canal.
Not tonight. I have plans.
Dream Crusher. Oh, you do. Maybe I'll fucking go to the canal.
What? Call my dad?
I don't want
Oh,
to.
never mind.
I'm
He's
not
sick.
calling your dad so you can tell me I'm retarded.
No. My dad literally bought a fishing license so he could start fishing the canal.
I have a fishing license now.
And because I took him to our spot. Mm-hmm. The one we would always go to.
On Thunderbird?
Yeah.
You took him there?
Yeah, the night that I lost my fishing pole when you and Austin were supposed to fucking come.
Whoops.
Yeah. We caught 3 that night.
Yeah.
Well, would have been 3. One of them stole my rod.
2.5. 2.5 and a loss.
One stole a really expensive setup, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Still a little butthurt.
It's like a fucking $300 catfish rod.
You know what I still have that I don't know how it's still alive, but I have what I call a wimpy rod. It's a small rod that'll bend in half.
Hmm.
That wimpy will catch anything.
They call those ultralights.
It's tiny,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. So now I have like 4 extra reels because shit keeps breaking.
You know you can buy just rods.
Yeah, I don't want to. I have like 5. 5 is good.
I mean, yeah, you're only allowed to use 2.
5's good. Oh shit!
But that's why I started picking up the bass fishing, because like if I didn't want to just sit there, I could set out 1 catfish rod, and then walk up and down the bank, and bass fish while I was waiting for my catfish rod to go off.
See, while we were fishing too, I was gonna send out one with some live bait, and just do my thing, but he was moving the whole fucking time, so I decided against it.
Bass will tear live bait up.
Well, we were skimming through fucking trees and, you know, the fucking caps on the landings and everything like that, and I just didn't want to deal with anything more than getting caught up than I was going to already deal with. Because his kind of... He's been doing this since he was a fucking young kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I trust every bit of what he's saying. So I was casting the way he was telling me to, which is literally... through the branches sticking out, you know, through the trees in the lake, the landings on the fucking...
Yeah, if you're not getting hung up, you're not fishing hard enough.
Okay, exactly. And that's what he said. He said, I buy these lures so we can go out and fucking test your luck. If you're going to lose lures, it's going to happen. That's part of it.
Yeah,
you got to take that chance to catch those fish.
The only ones that I refuse to lose are my ones that are $25 plus.
Yeah. And we you know, if they get caught in trees and we try and get them back... and
Oh, no. I get them back.
Half and half, we get them back.
No, if they're $25 plus, they don't lose. I don't lose.
We went back for a few of them.
Well, so I have this thing. If you get hung up, it's called a lure retriever. It's really fucking heavy. And it's got these 2 like eyelets on it.
Mm-hmm.
You literally just hook it to your line, pull your line tight, and drop it. it follows your line down and then smacks your lure so hard it's supposed to knock it free.
Nice.
And then the hooks of the lure
Takes out the tree with it.
the hooks of the lure are supposed to get wrapped up in the lure retriever,
Mhm.
and then it's got its own rope, and you fucking pull that in,
Nice.
and then fucking untangle all your shit.
Okay, so you're that must be like a common bass fishing thing, because he was saying, you know, put it in holes, put it in shallow spots underneath trees.
Think of a bass. So with your catfishing, think of a bass like a mature flathead.
Well,
Once the flathead's not bottom feeding anymore and it's actually hunting,
Yeah.
think of it like a mature flathead.
They hide in holes.
They hide in any ambush point.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna hide in holes, around
Right.
corners, in bushes, in trees,
Especially steep drop-offs,
mm-hmm.
cliffs.
And so it's one of the things, like, people always talk shit about bass fishermen because they're like, oh, well, you buy this $90,000 boat to still fish off the bank. And it's like, well, yes, but I'm fishing a different profile.
Mm-hmm.
A fish doesn't swim from deep to the bank 90% of the time.
Well, he told me too, when they see something that comes from above land and it looks like it fell off the cliff, like a bug or something,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it swimming through the water is even more indication to them. So
Well, it depends on what your lure looks like. If you're trying to imitate a fish and you make that fall off land, they're like, why were you out there?
you got wings?
But I mean, I had one of my favorite lures to use, especially out here at like Bartlett and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looked exactly like a crawfish,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a hard body, just like what you were throwing. Had a bill and everything else on it, but it was all backwards. So like the claws and everything were on the back because a crawfish moves backwards, and so the bill was on the tail, and the bills are clear, so the fish can't see them. And so you would tie on the tail, and then you would retrieve it, and it would kick like this, which is exactly how a crawfish moves when it's moving through the water. And you just drag that along the bottom. I can't tell you how many fucking bass I caught on that thing.
No shit.
They eat certain times a year. So when you catch them and their mouth is all red and bloody,
Mm-hmm.
it's because they've been eating crawfish.
They get fucked up.
And they do that around like close to springtime, because it's when they spawn. So they eat the crawfish to be able to get more protein and everything built. They store all the protein for spawn.
No
Because
shit.
they won't eat while they're spawning. So they won't eat for like 3 weeks.
God damn. See, I got a lot to learn.
They're a very predatory fish. They're always either, and a lot of times when you catch one, like, because the spawn is some of the best time to catch them. But like I just said, they won't eat for like 3 weeks during the spawn. Which means they're not eating. They're not picking that up to eat. So you're not trying to imitate food at that point.
Right.
You're trying to imitate predator.
Mm.
Because when they bite something at that point, a bass is unique to where it has the ability to actually spit stuff out. So
Which we saw quite a bit.
it will pick something if it's feels something as a threat to its bed,
Mm-hmm.
its nest. It will pick it up, move it, and spit it out. It looks so cool. Look up YouTube videos on it. It is their gills and everything flare up and then just fucking poof. It's cool. But yeah, so in like that time of year, you're imitating like crawfish because crawfish will attack their eggs. Bluegill because bluegill will eat their eggs. Stuff like that.
That's something else we have to talk about. I'll bluegill fish all fucking day.
If you know good spots, I'm fucking down.
Dude, bluegill are the shit to eat.
They're so fun to catch too because
Yeah.
it's like a little tiny piece of worm. Drop it. Oh, cool. Fish.
Yep.
Drop it. Oh, cool. Like me and my buddy caught like 15 one time when we were at a tournament. And it was the night before or 2 nights before the tournament because the night before you're not allowed to put any line in the water for any reason. And so it was 2 nights before the tournament. We're like, well, we're camping on the lake. Why don't we just walk over here and catch a couple bluegill real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Literally caught like 15 in 5 minutes.
Yeah, dude, I love when that happens.
When you find a fucking
A school of
little
them.
school of bluegill,
Yeah.
oh my god. Because once you get, they're like little piranhas. Once you get one fired up, they're all fucking
They're
going.
fucking all wondering what's going on.
Hmm.
Yeah. Fuck, now I got the itch, dude. Now I want to go fishing. We're gonna end this because I gotta figure out what I'm doing with my life.
Going fishing.
I might. I fucking might. We need to come up with a business model and a business name for your welding.
Right, you got the business name.
What is it?
I can't say.
What was the whole point of that?
I'm not gonna say on air because I want to get the LLC set up for it before somebody else tries to take it. I've already told you the name.
You really think somebody's gonna take that?
People are fucking assholes.
You're right, but we need to get that shit rolling.
I don't have the money for it right now.
No, I know that, but we need to get some business rolling then.
Yeah, they don't have the money.
No shit. Weird. Oh, fine. Is there anything else you want to add?
I mean, if you can find anybody that needs any welding work, that'd be great.
Where do you draw the line as far as like welding work goes?
What do you mean?
What wouldn't you do?
Anything I need permits for? Because like I said, you have to remember I'm not certified, so some of your permitted work,
So
you have to have a certified welder do it.
wrought iron fences.
Depends on the permitted, because some of those, technically, a fence around your property you do have to have permitted.
Gross. Obviously you can do anything regarding a vehicle.
Kind of.
Which, by the way,
That's gonna be a hairy line.
As soon as this asshole gets his LLC set up, apparently, then we're gonna advertise everything that we've done to. By that time, it'll be both vehicles that I have.
Oh, great, more work.
Yeah, oh yeah. You're not done yet. I'll have 2 trucks fully set up with bumpers that he has fully hand fabricated and set up that are all DOT approved. And what else? There's something else. Well, he fixed my security door today. That was cool. So now it's actually secure.
I have done fence work. I've obviously built a trailer, which that thing pulls fucking straight as a fucking arrow.
That is another thing too. He hand built a trailer. It's fully decked, full spare. Dimensions.
Fuck.
It's like 10 by 8. So it's like 10 foot long. It's got a wood deck. I'm sure you can add ramps super easily.
Yeah, I could. So,
any fucking welding work you need.
Or if you want to buy a trailer that's already done and ready to go, it's for sale.
Yep, it is for sale, and they all will be. So,
well, except for the next trailer I build, that one I'm keeping.
We're gonna expand more on that, given the rising cost of everything. I'm gonna push you a little bit harder to make some money on the side. I want to try and help too. Physically, not just here.
We'll see.
Yeah, I know.
You have this weird way of always talking your way out of it.
I don't want to talk my way out of it. I just have to be here. Like this Saturday, I have 2 recordings to do.
Oh.
Woo!
Woo!
So, anyway. Like, follow, subscribe, please.
All of the things.
This last year, statistically, looks fucking amazing. And it's no more thanks to everybody that's been listening and supporting and following and liking. We fucking love you for it, and I appreciate every bit of it. We hope that this will hopefully be the driving force into funding a different life for all of us, and also the driving force into motivating everybody that's listening to do better for themselves. So your continued support is fucking amazing and appreciated. And I would do shout outs for the people that have reached out to me and emailed me and commented on everything that we have to say, but there's too many names.
So many.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. We've reached 8 countries at this point.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So this is 1 year. So I hope that 2024 is going to be fucking great. And I hope that we move out of this built-on room in 2024. And I hope for a lot of other things, but...
yeah, I mean, as long as we keep going and keep gaining the traction that we're gaining and actually secure some of the sponsors that you've been talking to,
yeah,
I think that it's something that it's not out of the picture to be able to move into an actual studio.
A suite. Yeah. I appreciate the the continued following and your continued support, even though I've been slacking quite a bit because I have. Life has been rough the last couple of months, admittedly. So this kind of gets, pushed back a little bit. Not on purpose, but sometimes life is just hard. So
Just keep making the lemonade.
fuck. The only thing I think about when you say keep making the lemonade was like, hey, what kind of vodka do I have?
Well, when life gives you lemons, you just make the lemonade and you just keep on going.
Yeah. No, I'm trying, man. It's hard, but it's appreciated. And so are you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Well, you keep showing up every week, so.
Unfortunately.
Sucks for me. But that's fine. Until next week, all my Justin fans, because there's a handful of them out there.
Like 3.
Fuck off with your 3.
4.
We'll see you next week. And you know what's real fun about this one?
Oh, God.
You know it's on video, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one actually should be published.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Great.
Here's the anxiety. Shit.
Now people are going to see how ugly I actually am.
Oh, God. We love you.
We out.